Dear students, welcome to the ninth session of our chemistry class. Today, we are going to learn how to write the chemical formula of a compound. The chemical formula of a compound can be determined from the composition of the compound. The composition of a compound is commonly expressed in terms of the percentage of each element present in it. To determine the formula of an unknown compound, we have to follow some steps. If we follow the steps, it's easy for us to do the problems from this part. The first step is to determine the percentage of each element present in the compound from the mass of each element present in a certain known mass of the compound. Second one, we have to divide the percentage of each element by the atomic mass of the respective element. And the ratio so obtained is named as atomic ratio. The third step is to divide the atomic ratio by the lowest value. And the lowest value is if we are having 2 3 elements, and when we get the atomic ratios, what happens is we have to check that which is the lowest value there among them, and after that we have to divide the atomic ratio by the lowest value there, and these are converted into the nearest whole numbers, and the whole numbers give the simplest ratio between the number of atoms of the various elements present in the compound. After that, we can write down the empirical formula of the compound. If we are having the empirical formula, of course, we can write the empirical formula mass. We can calculate the empirical formula mass by adding the atomic masses of all the atoms present in the empirical formula. After that, we can obtain the value for N through a relation which we learned before, that is N is equal to molecular mass by empirical formula mass. If we get the N value, it's easy for us to calculate the or to write the molecular formula. So that formula was molecular formula is equal to N into empirical formula. So like this, if we follow the steps, we can do the problems. Let's see one problem where we are having a compound which contains 75% carbon and 25% hydrogen. Now we have to determine its empirical formula. The molecular mass of this compound is 16U, and we have to again determine the molecular formula also. Atomic masses of carbon and hydrogen are given in the question, that is carbon is equal to 12U, hydrogen is equal to 1U. So this much information is there in the problem. Now for doing this type of problem, we should have a chart or we should have some columns so that it's very easy for you to write the empirical formula. And the columns for the chart is, we want the element, which all elements are there in the compound, the percentage composition, atomic mass, atomic ratio, and simplest atomic ratio. So these columns, if we are writing and doing, the problem can be easily solved. So the elements which are present are carbon and hydrogen. So we will write the element symbol here, carbon, then hydrogen we have written. And in front of the carbon, the percentage composition is given as 75%. So we have to write here 75. And for hydrogen, it is 25. Then comes the atomic mass. Carbon's atomic mass is 12 and hydrogen's it is 1. Now the next step was we have to get the atomic ratio. And how we were getting, that is percentage composition, we have to divide with atomic mass. When you do this thing, 75 by 12. When you do the calculation, you will get 6.25. And for the hydrogen, it will be 25 divided by 1. So you will get 25. Now you can see here two elements only were there, and among them, which is the least number? One is 6.25 and the other one is 25. So the least number is 6.25. Now we have to, what atomic ratio should be multiplied or should be divided by the least value. So we have to do what? 6.25 divided by 6.25, and here comes 1. The next one also we have to do with that, that is 25 divided by 6.25, which equals 4. Now you are having the simplest atomic ratio as whole number. So how many carbons are there? Only 1, and hydrogen only 4. So it makes the empirical formula C1H4, and it is equivalent to CH4. So we got the first part of the question or the problem, empirical formula. Empirical formula of this compound is methane. After this, if we want to find the molecular formula, the next step is you have to find the empirical formula mass. And we know the empirical formula mass, how we have to do atomic masses, we have to add up. So 1 carbon, so 1 into 12 plus 4 hydrogen, so 4 into 1. And your answer becomes 12 plus 4u equals 16u. So empirical formula mass right now you got. After this, molecular mass is given in the question. Molecular mass of the compound is 16. If the question it is given, you can easily find out the n value, because n value is, or the relationship between the molecular mass and empirical formula mass is equal to n is given. So you substitute the value for molecular mass 16u and empirical formula mass. Just now we have calculated 16u. So when these two get cancelled, you will get the answer as n is equal to 1. If n is equal to 1, you are getting the molecular formula you can easily get. That is, the formula is, molecular formula is equal to n into empirical formula. N, and if we substitute the value, we will get 1 into CH4, which is equivalent to CH4 itself. So before when we learn the empirical formula and molecular formula relationship, we have discussed that if the value of n is 1, the empirical formula and the molecular formula will be same, and the same step or the same concept is used here. So this problem is solved. Next, let's see one more problem where we are having 4 gram of copper chloride. Copper chloride was analyzed. The following results were obtained. Mass of copper is equal to 1.890 gram and mass of chlorine is equal to 2.110 gram. Determine the empirical formula of copper chloride. And atomic mass of copper is equal to 63.5 U and chlorine is equal to 35.5 U. It is given in the question. For doing this problem, we want to first find out the mass percentage of copper and chlorine. For that, the step what we have to use is mass percentage of copper is equal to how much the atomic mass or the mass of copper is given. Given weight is what? 1.890 divided by the copper chloride's weight is given 4 grams. So in divide by 4 into 100 when you are doing, you will get the mass percentage, and it is 47.25. The next one is same as we did for copper, you have to do for chlorine also. So mass percentage of chlorine is equal to, in the question itself it is given 2.110 divided by the copper chloride's weight, that is 4 gram, into 100, you will get 52.75. So both the mass percentage right now we got. So we can apply these values in the table as we did for the first problem. That is, which all tables we need or columns we need, the element we need, percentage composition we need, atomic number we need, atomic ratio, and simplest ratio. So right now we can go with that table. So we will do the table as element, copper and chlorine we have written. Mass percentage, just now we have calculated for copper 47.25 and for chlorine it is 52.75. Atomic mass both it is given, that is copper 63.5 and chlorine 35.5. Next step is we have to get the atomic ratio. For that, what we have to do? We have to take the mass percentage and divide it with atomic mass. So it becomes 47.25 divided by 63.5, and the answer you are getting is 0.74. Same way for the chlorine, if we are doing 52.75 divided by 35.5, when you are doing, you will get the answer of 1.48. Now among these two values, which is the lowest one? 0.74. Now you have to do the other step, that is the simplest ratio. How you are getting is atomic ratio should be divided with the least value among them. So you have to do 0.74 divided by 0.74, you are getting 1. The next one is 1.48 divided by 0.74 is equal to 2. Now these two are the simplest whole number ratios. With this we can write the empirical formula, that is Cu1 and Cl2. So the empirical formula of this compound is CuCl2. Now in this question we are asked to write only the empirical formula, so we have to close or we have to stop with this topic or with this problem. Thank Let's see one more problem where we are having a compound which was found to have 78.2% boron and 21.8% of hydrogen. Its molar mass was determined to be 27.6 gram per mole. Now, what is the molecular formula of the compound? Atomic mass of boron is given as 11U and hydrogen as 1U. Now, you have to write the or you have to get the molecular formula of the compound. The first step, the table we will draw for element, percentage composition, atomic mass, atomic ratio, and simplest atomic ratio. Which are the elements here? Boron and hydrogen. Now, boron, when we are writing B and hydrogen, H we wrote. The percentage composition when we are doing 78.2 is for boron and hydrogen it is 21.8. Atomic mass of boron is 11 and for hydrogen it's 1. Atomic ratio, how you are getting? We have to do the division. Percentage composition should be divided by the atomic mass. So 78.2 divided by 11 you are getting 7.1, and here 21.8 divided by 1 is 21.8. So among these two the lowest value is 7.1. So the atomic ratio should be divided by the value 7.1. 7.1 divided by 7.1 you will get 1 here, and the other one is for the hydrogen 21.8 divided by 7.1, which is equivalent to 3.0. So these two whole numbers when you are getting for the boron and hydrogen, boron how many we have to say B1, and for hydrogen it is 3, so it becomes B1H3 or BH3. Now this is the empirical formula of the compound. Next step what we have to do is we have to write the molecular formula. For that we know that empirical formula mass we have to do. So 1 into boron atomic mass is given as 11 plus 3 into atomic mass of hydrogen 1. We'll get the value 14U. After getting the empirical formula mass, in the question it was mentioned that molar mass was 27.6 gram per mole. So the molecular mass will be what 27.6 U. With this we can do the N value. So N is equal to molecular mass divided by empirical formula mass, which is equivalent to 27.6 divided by 14, and you will get the value for 1.97. If we are having N value 1.97, we can't apply for the molecular formula. So we need what the nearest whole number, and 1.97 is near to 2. So we use the value N is equal to 2, and the molecular formula becomes N into empirical formula, that is 2 into pH3. So it becomes P2H6, that is diborane's formula. So this is how we are getting the molecular formula. Next we will do with our next topic, that is stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations. The word stoichiometry is derived from two Greek words, stoichion meaning element and metron meaning measure. Stoichiometry thus deals with the calculation of masses, sometimes volume also, of the reactants and products which is involved in a chemical reaction. Before understanding how to calculate the amounts of the reactants required or the products produced in a chemical reaction, let us study what information is available from the balanced chemical equation of a given reaction. We have to understand first, which we know also, but we will go through that one. Let us consider the combustion of methane. Methane means CH4. If we are writing a balanced equation for the reaction, we'll get CH4 plus 2O2 giving CO2 plus 2H2. And we know that this CH4 plus O2 gives CO2 plus H2O. Now, which are the reactants and which are the products here? Methane. That is methane CH4 plus and oxygen. Oxygen, or you can read it as what? Dioxygen. Dioxygen are the reactants. and carbon dioxide and water are the products. This is a simple thing what we are learning in the beginning itself for a chemical reaction. So reactants and the products are there. Reactants are written on the left hand side of the reaction and the products are written on the right hand side. And we know that LHS should be RHS or it should be equivalent to RHS. Then only it is a balanced equation. Now right now here in this equation or in this reaction, carbon is 1, hydrogen 4 are there, here also 4 hydrogens are there on the right side, oxygen 4 are there, here also 4 oxygen. So it's a balanced equation for the reaction. Note that all the reactants and the products which are gases in the above reaction, and it is indicated by the small letter G. So if in case any of the element or any of the reactant is in solid or the liquid state, it should be mentioned in small letter S in the bracket and small letter L should be written respectively. This we should be very careful. The coefficients. Let's see the same reaction itself. CH4 plus 2O2 giving CO2 plus 2H2. The coefficients 2 for oxygen and H2 are called stoichiometric coefficients. Where is this 2? In this reaction 2O2 is written. So this is the 2 and for water 2 is written here. These two 2's are said to be the stoichiometric coefficient. Similarly, if we take the coefficient of CH4 and CO2, in front of this CH4, nothing is written. That means it is 1. Same way for the carbon dioxide, nothing is written in front. That means it is 1. So the stoichiometric coefficient for these two are 1. So this is how we are reading the reaction. They represent the number of molecules which take part in the reaction or the form in the reaction. So whatever the coefficient is there, it represents the number of molecules taking part in the reaction. Thus, according to the above chemical reaction, according to this reaction, we can say the reaction as 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 mole of oxygen to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. The same reaction we are reading in terms of mole. 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 mole of oxygen to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. In terms of molecule, 1 molecule of methane reacts with 2 molecules of oxygen to give 1 molecule of carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of water. So, like this we can explain the same reaction. In liters volume case when we are taking, we can explain this one. 22.7 liter of methane reacts with, it is 2 into 22.7. So it becomes what? 45.4 liter of oxygen to give 22.7 liter of carbon dioxide and 45.4 liter of H2O. In terms of volume we are saying. In terms of gram, if you want to explain, we can explain the reaction as 16 gram of methane. From where the 16 came? C is atomic mass of carbon is 12 and 4. What we have to do is 4 into 1. That is 12 plus 4 into 1 when we are doing. The molecular mass of methane becomes 16 gram. That 16 gram that we are taking. 1 mole of methane we are taking as 16 gram. 16 gram of methane reacts with 2 into 32 gram of oxygen. That 32 how it came? 2 oxygens are there, that is 16 into 16. It becomes 16 into 2. It becomes what? 2 into 16 it becomes how much? 32. Into 2 is there. To give 44 gram of carbon dioxide, 44 gram is 1 carbon 12 plus 2 into 6. 2 into 16. And you will get the answer as 44 gram plus 2 into 18 gram for water. So in terms of gram, it is explained this way. The same reaction can be explained in these all different ways. From these relationships, the given data can be interconverted as mass to moles, moles to number of molecules, or number of molecules to moles, moles to mass and all. And we know that mass by volume is density. So the conversion can be done. With the problem, we can understand how the conversion is. Calculate the amount of water, it is in the gaseous form, produced by the combustion of 16 gram of methane. Now, if we want to write the balanced equation, the same equation is here, CH4 plus 2O2 giving CO2 plus 2H2. That means 16 gram of methane corresponds to what? 1 mole. 16 gram of methane corresponds to 1 mole. From the above equation, we know that 1 mole of methane gives 2 moles of water. 1 mole of methane gives 2 moles of water, and we have to find here the water's amount. So we have written 1 mole of methane gives 2 mole of water. So 2 mole of water will become 2 into this 2, that is hydrogen's molecular mass we are doing. 2 into hydrogen's atomic mass is 1 plus 1 into 16. It becomes 2 into 18 is equal to 36 gram. That means 2 moles of water equivalent to what's 36 gram. 36 grams is there. So that means what? 16 gram of methane corresponds to 1 mole. What this sentence we have written? 1 mole of methane gives 2 moles of water, which is equivalent to 36 gram. And 1 mole of water is equal to, how we are writing is 18 gram of water. Instead of this, in 1 mole we have written the molecular mass in terms, that is 18 gram of water. So if you want to do in the unity form, how we are doing is 18 gram by water is equal to, or divided by 1 mole of water is equal to 1. Therefore 2 mole of water into 18 gram of water by 1 mole of water. This, instead of what we are doing is 1 mole or 18 gram of water if we are writing, then the answer becomes 2 into 18 gram of water, which is equivalent to again 36 gram of water. That means whatever the conversion, 1 mole is converted into what? This 2 moles of water, which is equivalent to 36 gram. In terms of gram, we have done the problem. Thank you, and we are concluding the chapter 1 here. So we'll see the next chapter in the next session.